What do you want me to take a picture of?
The traffic. Well, now it's passing. The hideous traffic behind us.
You came down from Seattle. Yeah. Just when you crossed the tunnel, just before you made the turn to come up, you saw those big dredge spoils, those big piles along the Cowlitz River. Those were all dredge spoils out of there. But there was enough debris came down into the Cowlitz, down the Cowlitz to the Columbia, that it shallowed up the 39-foot navigation channel on the Columbia to 13 feet. So they had to dredge the debris, and that's 60 miles from here as the river flows.
How quickly did that? Anybody else?
In the afternoon.
Probably super safe, right?
So right away.
Yeah, right
Actually,
away.
I'm
Kind of cold. You can see it's kind of finished off. The Corps did the same thing. They dug a bedrock outlet so it wouldn't overtop the debris.
I thought it looked like a dike on the other side.
And Castle Lake, which is over there.
Did here is they dredged out an area so that this actually can drain out into the Toutle. And this is a picture that Eric printed off for me this morning. So this is the ridge behind us here. And so somebody was on a plane maybe taking a picture here. So you can see the lake forming, and this is where they dredged out. And then in the, yeah, I think. So you can pass that around if you like. And in the case of, you can actually also see has happened at Spirit Lake 2,000 years ago. So that got dammed up, it overfilled, and all that was holding it in were kind of some loose pyroclastic stuff, and it broke through, and you can see in the geologic evidence downstream these massive, that's Windy Ridge.
That's where me and Sarah are a lot of the time.
Yeah, and that's where I hike in from. So
And where I almost got stranded last night.
Okay. Now what I do out here, so I'm very interested in these pyroclastic flows. They're very deadly, they're very dangerous. They're these searing hot clouds of gas, ash, and rock that pummel down the mountains at hurricane velocities up to anywhere from 100 to 700 miles an hour. You can't outrun them. It's hard to predict exactly where they're going to go. For example, the blast, they had a 6-mile radius. That was their hazard zone, and it went 19 miles. And so there's still a lot we don't understand about how these things work. And so more stuff was coming out. And so eventually around noon, there was so much coming out of the vent that not all of it could continue to go up. And some of it started to collapse back down and fountain down. And so not all of it could become buoyant. Some of it remained more dense in the atmosphere and it collapsed. Does that make sense? And we can see that in the deposits. We know that because we can see those gigantic pieces of the volcano that have been ripped up from the insides of the crater and making it wider and wider, and that's what caused those columns to collapse. And that's why you had 4 hours of an eruption before you ever had these pyroclastic flows start. And then they lasted throughout the day. The eruption ended around 5:15 when it literally ran out of steam. It ran out of gas. Okay. In the next several months, they had some smaller explosions that produced pyroclastic flows.
And look what happened! Yay!
The lower one and the big one is a different one?
The bigger ones.
I totally said your name
It just took a while for our breath to get there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there
Now you can see
it
that lava dome in there, that big pile of stuff.
You've seen it.
Yeah.
Surrounded by the glacier. The glacier is coming back and is now actually wrapped itself around the
is.
dome.
I see that.
So that dome.
Well, there were surface sharks there for a while.
The shark fin still there, or is that collapsed?
That's collapsed off.